Why are we focusing on individual decision making? That as a person, you are an individual and you take decisions on your own. You do not call a conference like in the companies. People sit together in a board meeting and then they discuss all the problems and then they come up with the solution. Everybody pitches in and they give their point of view, and at the end of the day the whole company, the whole boardroom makes a decision. That's a company decision, a corporate decision making process. Currently we are going to focus on the individual decision making process. How does an individual working in an organization makes decisions in different circumstances, and what are the perceptions, and how do perceptions affect his or her decision making? First of all, let's understand what is a perception. Perception is a process by which individuals organize and interpret their sensory impressions. What are sensory impressions? The feeling of touch, how you see things, how you taste things, how the external environment causes you to behave differently. If there's a crowd and they're all shouting and they're pushing everybody around, you would not like to enter that place because your sensory impressions uh, give you a signal that this is not the place for you to be, right? Some people are so like they try and avoid crowds, that whenever they go to shopping, they choose a time when there are very few customers in the mall, and that is the early morning time, like around 10 a.m. To 11 a.m. when the malls open. There are very few customers there, so if you go there, you'll have peace of mind. You can shop around easily, and you won't be pushed around, or they won't the place would not be overcrowded. But if you go in peak hours, then there will be too many people there, and they would be picking up things on their trolley, and somebody might even push you with this trolley or touch their shoulder with you, and you don't want to be in that crowded place. It depends from person to person. Some people like to go to crowded places and others do not. So perception is a process by which individuals like yourself organize and interpret their sensory impressions. Whatever sensory impressions that they uh, receive from internally and externally, all of those impressions are organized, and then that person interprets it with his own knowledge base. Everybody has faced different experiences and has been in different situations. So one person's interpretation would be different from another person's interpretation. एक आदमी जिस तरीके से एक चीज को एक देख के उसको इंटरप्रेट करता है, वो कुछ बच्चे डांस कर रहे हैं, हल्ला गुल्ला कर रहे हैं, उन्होंने लाउड म्यूजिक लगाया हुआ है, एक बंदा उसको इंटरप्रेट करेगा कि दे आर एंजॉयिंग देमसेल्व्स। दूसरा आदमी उसको देखेगा तो वो कहेगा कि इस वक्त तो क्लास टाइम है, क्लास टाइम में ये सब कुछ कर रहे हैं, ये क्लास टाइम वेस्ट कर रहे हैं, दे आर वेस्टिंग देयर टाइम। अब ये दोनों इंटरप्रिटेशंस डिफरेंट हो गई। पहले आदमी ने पहला स्टूडेंट था, उसने अपने स्टूडेंट के हिसाब से इंटरप्रेट किया कि ये सारे स्टूडेंट्स एंजॉय कर रहे हैं। दूसरा टीचर था जिसकी क्लास में वो नहीं गए थे, तो वो बाहर आया देखने के लिए कि ये हैं किधर सारे, और वो वहां सारे म्यूजिक लगा के और डांस कर रहे थे, तो उसने इंटरप्रेट किया कि दे आर वेस्टिंग टाइम एंड दे शुड डू दिस एक्टिविटी सम अदर टाइम, राइट? So perception is a process by which individuals organize and interpret their sensory impressions in order to give meaning to their environment. And then there are factors that influence perceptions. बहुत सारे ऐसे अवामिल होते हैं, फैक्टर्स होते हैं that influence your perception. Factors in the perceiver, खुद जो perceiver के अपने चीजें होती हैं internally जो कि उसकी perception को influence करती हैं। फैक्टर्स इन द सिचुएशन, सिचुएशन जहां पे आप फिर रहे हैं, जो आपके गिरदोनवा के अंदर एनवायरनमेंट है, आपका एक्सटर्नल एनवायरनमेंट, उसके अंदर कौन कौन से ऐसे फैक्टर्स हैं जो आपकी परसेप्शन को इन्फ्लुएंस करेंगे, उसके ऊपर असरअंदाज होंगे. एंड देन फैक्टर्स इन द टारगेट, राइट. फैक्टर्स इन द परसीवर आर एटीट्यूड्स. आदमी का अपना एटीट्यूड किस तरह का है. अब हमने जब एटीट्यूड्स पढ़े थे तो वी डिस्कस्ड देयर वाज अ कॉग्निटिव पार्ट, देन एन अफेक्ट एंड बिहेवियर. अब कॉग्निशन इज दैट how do you do rational thinking, and how do you come to a conclusion that this is what's happening. Affect is the emotional part, in which you become emotional and you say, no, this should not have been done, this could have been handled in another way, and this is not fair, and so many other things. You are not thinking rationally, you are thinking emotionally, right? And then there is the behavior, that the behavior is the outcome of your cognition and your emotions. Okay, and all of these things combined form your attitude. Motives are intentions, like they come from inside you. What is motivating you to go and take the class? What is motivating you to go and attend a cricket match in the stadium? Because you have to go for 2 hours earlier than the match starts. You have to park your car far away, then you have to walk from there, and then you have to pass all through the checking gates and go and wait for the team to come. So that is your motive. You are internally motivated to watch that cricket match, and that's why you have spared 5 or 6 hours of your precious time to go and personally watch that match in the stadium. And there was another alternative, that you could have watched that match sitting in your home on your big television screen. Then there is another alternative, that you could have watched that match on your smartphone, sitting with your friends, or you could have been anywhere. You could just switch on your smartphone, and you could watch the match there on any of the social media platforms. Interests are come from within. What interests a person to form such a perception? If those what's happening around you, if that interests you, if you find that interesting, and you think that this is something that is good for me, I will get pleasure out of it, I will feel good, I want to do this. So these are your interests, and interests also influence your perception. If something does not interest a person, then he or she would walk away from it, and because uh, they think that it is not necessary, it's not very important. If your parents ask you to go to a relative's place where there are all old people, it has no interest for you. You don't have people there of your age, and you cannot discuss things there. Same is the case in an organization. If you like your work, you have interest in doing whatever you're doing. If you're a creative person, or you're a media person, or you are a lights, camera, action person, that interests you and that motivates you to go there, and then you make a perception that is positive and in favor of that decision. This is how your perception is influenced by the factors in the inside of perceiver. Experience, whatever you have experienced till today, in the past 20 years, you've come across different situations, like when there's a small child and he touches a hot cup, so he instantly, his sensory stimuli tells him to pull his hand back. If I throw something at you, you would close your eyes. So that is a sensory stimuli. So this is how children learn from their experiences, that I did that, and this was the result. Now I should not do that, or I should do it in a different manner so that I don't get hurt. If you go into an organization, you're sitting in an organization and you're smoking, your boss comes around and he tells you not to smoke. So you learn from that experience that when I am in an organization, it is not a hotel or a restaurant. So I have to abide by the rules and regulations of the organization. And every organization has a particular set of rules and a code of conduct. You have to be dressed formally for the occasion. You have to know the work that you are supposed to do, and you have to take notes of whatever is told to you, and you have to get the work done. Nobody is going to stand by your side and keep asking you that Mr. So and so or Miss So and so, have you completed your work? How much work have you done right now? They will give you a task, and then after 4 or 5 hours, they would want a result that we told you to do this. You were a responsible employee working in an organization. Have you done your work? So you have to make a things to do list, and you have to prioritize your work, that which work is most urgent, which needs to be done right away, and which work can be done on a secondary basis, like after 2 hours, and what is the work that you have assigned the least importance, and that can be done in the second half of the day after lunch, because that is of that does not have that urgency of completion which you have assigned to it. Then your expectations. What do you expect from work? You expected that life would be very fine, I would get a lot of salary, and I will enjoy myself. They will give me a car, and they will give me all the facilities. And I love this organization because they give me lots of holidays, and life is hunky dory. But on the other hand, when the work starts and they start assigning you work on a daily basis and they want results, then you say, I had expectations, like it would just be like uni, like you do just go and attend 2 or 3 classes, and then the rest of the day you enjoy with your friends, chit chat, and your parents pay you the pocket money. You enjoy, you go and have snacks, and life was very good at the university. Whereas now that I am working in an organization, I am told that this is the work, that because they're paying you and they want to get that work done, and then they have timelines that if you're working on a drama, that drama has to be completed. If you're working on a project or an assignment, that assignment has to be completed in time, so that the other department then take over and they can do their own job. So your expectations influence your perception, right? And you have to change your expectations according to the work environment that you are in, because you chose to do that job yourself. Nobody forced you to join that company and to do that job. So while you're there, you have to modify your expectations according to the requirements of your job. Factors in the situation. What is affecting you externally? Now, time. Time is of essence. If there's an urgency of time and you are traveling on a motorway, and you have to reach that meeting after like 4 hours, there's a meeting in Islamabad and you have to be there at all costs, then you would make small stopovers, and you walk into a shop, they're selling you mineral water and snacks for a very high price than the normal price which was charged in the market. But since time is of essence, and the meeting that you are going to is very important, so you would even buy a 50 rupees mineral water bottle for 100 rupees, right? If you have to attend a very urgent meeting and you cannot find a public transport, so you will hire a Uber or a taxi, and you would straight away go. Hiring an Uber is more expensive than taking the normal transport red bus goes around the city. But because of the urgency of time, you took a taxi because you didn't want to be late for your interview, or you didn't want to miss your exam. So when a situation is time bound, then you are forced by the environment to take certain decisions that you would not have done otherwise. If it's raining heavily outside, then you have to take a taxi, even because you cannot stand on a bus station, or you cannot walk up, go and walk to a bus station and get your clothes all wet and then turn up in the interview with all wet clothes. Understand? Work settings. When you're at work, then you have to set your work, and you have like 8 hours that the company has assigned you, from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. or 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. That is your work time, and you cannot have your personal things arranged in that time. Whatever task is given to you, you have to divide that task so that it is completed within those 8 hours. And in between, you have to take your lunch and you have to go for prayers and everything. So you have to adjust your work settings accordingly there, and prioritize your work and finish your work within time, right? If there are any personal engagements, you will move those personal engagements. Your friends want to come you for to come together for a lunch at any place, you will request them that this is a personal meeting and we will have it over dinner. So then comes your social settings. You should keep your social settings away from your work settings, because these are the factors that influence your perception. And if you are assigning time to your social settings in your own private time, then that would not harm your work environment, and it will not cause any damage to what your company needs you to do. So all your social settings have to be adjusted accordingly, and you should give first priority to your work settings. If you have a marriage of a friend that you need to attend, or if you have to go and see your friend in a hospital, so you cannot miss office work and go and see your friend in an hospital, right? Because doctors and nurses are there and they're taking very good care of your friend. So you have to choose a time after office hours, where when you can go with flowers, or will take some fruits and juices and go and visit your friend and spend some time with your friend, right? Rather than just going there and just standing with him for 10 or 15 minutes and then you run off because you have to catch up with a meeting at the office, or you have some important work that needs to be completed, and work that your organization assigns you has timelines. You have to finish it within a specific timeline, right? It is not open ended that you can submit your assignment after 1 week. This happens in college or university, that your teacher might give you a relaxation. He or she would say, okay, okay, you can turn in the assignment tomorrow. But in organizations, you have to do that work spot on when you're asked to finish. And if you finish it an hour earlier or half an hour earlier, that goes to your credit. Because when your boss is going to write your appraisal, he or she is going to decide that this person is very dutiful, and he is or she is very mindful of the work that is assigned to them, and they assign top priority to their work settings rather than their social settings. They attend to their social settings, but in their own personal time, right? Then the company has no problem. You want to go to a beach, you want to go and have fun with your friends, there's nothing wrong with it, but it should be in your personal time, not at the company's expense. Then there are factors that influence your perception, factors in the target. Novelty. You have to come up with something new, or if something you come across something new, then you've never experienced it before, you've never seen it before, and this is a totally a new situation. So how are you going to handle it? First you observe, and then you see what others are doing, and then you try and learn what is this new activity. And as soon as you start learning, your cognition kicks in, and you start making a rational decision whether to it interests you or not. Because then again, after viewing it for 10 or 15 minutes, then you something from inside tells you that this is not the place where you want to be, or this is the place where you want to be. Like, I'm this whatever is happening, I agree to it. It motivates me. It makes me happy. So I should be here, right? It depends on from person to person. Then motion, sounds, size, all of these things, they are influencing your perception. Proximity and similarity, things that are similar to what you've experienced before, and they are in your proximity, within your reach, the skills that you have acquired over a period of time, the knowledge base that you have. If you think you can do this assignment quite comfortably, then you will have a positive perception towards it. If you say that this is something totally new for me and I have never experienced it before, I'm not trained for it, I don't have the skill set to do it, then you will shy away from it, or you will simply tell your boss that this is something that I cannot do. If there is, I am a teacher, like if I am assigned a course which I have a very little knowledge about, so I will tell my supervisor or my dean that I do not have sufficient knowledge of this subject, and therefore it would be difficult for me to handle this course. So it is better that you assign it to somebody else, right? If it is manageable and you think that you can spend a few weeks preparing it and you will be okay, if the time limit allows you, so you take on that task. That there's nothing in this world that you cannot do by reading about it, by acquiring information about it, and then you learn to do that task which you never did before. If you're given 2 weeks, you can learn driving, right? Which you had never done before. If you're given 2 weeks training, you can learn how to ride a bike. And there are other things that you can do with practice and training. Given the time constraint, if they say, no, you have to teach this subject tomorrow, then you have to excuse that I do not have sufficient knowledge about it, and I won't be doing justice to my job if I am given this task, right? So it is better to tell your manager that, so that he can assign it to another person, and rather than holding it back and telling them after a week that no work has been done on that the task that was assigned to you, then you will cut a very sorry figure, and there will be a huge problem for you in that organization. So but your manager notes it down that that is your weakness and you need a training for that task. So in multinationals, continuously have trainings, and he would assign you to a training of 2 weeks or so. And you can go and attend that training, and when you come back, then you are a person with multiple skills. You were already doing something and you had good grip on it, and now you have acquired another skill and you can do that task as well. People have beliefs, motives, and intentions. Everybody has some sort of beliefs, and that is from the beliefs are built in your first 5 years, first 5 or 7 years. You see, the people that you come across, people who have brought you up, and your family, your friends, the environment that you learn from, all those things. In Pakistan, people have a belief that during summers they should not eat fish because it is a product that you should only consume during winters. And how have they come to learn about it? Because all of their parents and relatives, they tell them that fish and dry fruits and all of these things, they are to be consumed in winters only and not in summers, right? कि ये वाली चीज गर्म है, ये वाली चीज सर्द है, because the doctors who used to treat people here were hakims, and hakim have this thing that this product should be consumed in winters and these products should be consumed in summers, and how much water intake you should have. And this is how people learn from their environment and from their elders, and they form certain beliefs, and it is very hard to change the belief of a person. Communists have a belief that nature is responsible for everything that is going around us, right? So they don't believe in God. Christians believe in God. They have a separate belief that Prophet Jesus was born without a father, right? So everybody forms different beliefs on the basis of how they're brought up and what sort of information they've been exposed to and what their elders and teachers have taught them. Then when you come into a university or a work environment, you are an adult, you can gather information on your own, and by collecting that information, you can change your beliefs, right? And this is what happens when you're 25 years old. People tend to change their previous beliefs by their own experiences, and now that they can acquire knowledge from books, from Google, from their friends, for people that they come across, and that's how people change and modify themselves uh, after they're 25 years old. So between 25 and 30, there's a lot of change that comes within a human being in terms of beliefs, motives, and intentions. Intention is something that you that comes from inside, that should I do this, should I help this person, old man, cross the street, should I help this blind person, if you see a hungry person, should you give him some money from your salary to so that he can have a good meal. These are all your intentions. And if somebody wants to hurt another person, then that is also an intention, whether positive or negative, it does not matter. That there are people who are the helping type, and then there are people who would not want others to grow, or who would not want others to participate. तो and you say कि यार इसको नहीं अपनी टीम में रखना, हमने क्यों नहीं रखना, बस वो आपको अच्छा नहीं लगता, इस वजह से आपने उसको अपनी टीम में नहीं रखना. अंडरस्टैंड? सो दैट इज एन इंटेंशन दैट कम्स फ्रॉम विद इन. उस हो सकता है कि आपके बाकी जो क्लास फेलोज हैं वो कह के नहीं यार उसको, वो भी हमारा क्लास फेलो है तो उसको भी हम क्रिकेट खेल रहे हैं, उसको खेलने दो साथ, राइट? इसी तरह ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस के अंदर आपको अगर किसी यू हैव अ क्लैश विद सम पर्सन, तो यू वुड नॉट लाइक टू हैव दैट पर्सन ऑन योर टीम, and especially if you are a team lead, because he cannot understand things how you explain, and he would not be ready to work as a team player with you, and he would not take orders from you. So you have you are not comfortable working with that person, right? Attribution theory explains that it tries to explain the ways in which we judge people differently. So, okay, how you are judging one person can be different from how another person judges the same person. There is Mr. A, and there are 25 students in your class. So 24 students can judge Mr. A differently, right? This is the attribution theory. That attribution theory tries to explain the ways in which we judge people differently, depending on the meaning we attribute to a given behavior. एक स्पेसिफिक सिचुएशन में आप उसका बिहेवियर नोट करते हैं, उसकी बर्थडे पार्टी हो रही है भाई, उसमें वो बहुत ज्यादा वाइल्ड हो गया, राइट? और उसके फ्रेंड्स भी उसके ऊपर वो सारा उसने स्नो वगैरह फेंकनी शुरू कर दी और एग्स और सारा कुछ करना उसके सर पे तोड़ने शुरू कर दिए. अब कुछ लोग उस सारे सिचुएशन को देख के जज करेंगे कि ये कितने जंगली लोग हैं, ये किस तरीके से अंडे तोड़े उसके सर पे, उसके सारे कपड़े खराब कर दिए, उस पर स्प्रे पेंट कर दिया है और सारा कुछ। जो फंकी टाइप लोग होंगे वो कहेंगे यार ये दिस इज कूल, वो देखो अपने वो स्प्रे पेंट से उसकी शर्ट पे कमेंट्स लिख रहे हैं और वो उसके ऊपर सारे स्नोफ्लेक्स उसके ऊपर स्प्रे कर रहे हैं और सारा कुछ एंड वो कोई एक छोटी सी बकेट पानी की भी ले आएगा, वो भी उसके ऊपर डाल देगा और उनके लिए वो सारी फन एक्टिविटी है। तो हाउ वन सेट ऑफ पीपल आर जजिंग देम इज के वो काफी ज्यादा राउडी हैं एंड नॉइजी हैं एंड वट एवर दे डूइंग इज नॉट गुड, whereas another set of people they think differently and they say कि यार they are kids and they are enjoying और उसकी बर्थडे है, ये उसके फ्रेंड्स हैं, तो there's nothing wrong with it. Understand? Then it suggests that when we observe an individual behavior, we attempt to determine whether it was internally or externally caused. अब हमने ये डिसाइड करना होता है कि ये जो भी है बिहेवियर, ये उसकी इंटरनली मोटिवेशन और इंटेंशंस की वजह से हुआ है या एक्सटर्नल एनवायरनमेंट ने उसको फोर्स किया है इस तरह से बिहेव करने पर। किसी वक्त आपके बॉस के ऊपर बहुत ज्यादा प्रेशर होता है और उसको एक चीज बहुत अर्जेंटली अपने क्लाइंट को देनी होती है, तो उस वक्त वो आपको कहेगा कि यू शुड, ये अपना माइक प्लीज ऑफ कर दें, कि यू शुड लीव एवरीथिंग दैट यू आर डूइंग एंड अटेंड टू दिस टास्क फर्स्ट। Understand? Everything else takes second priority, and what I am telling you right now takes first priority. Like there's a financial suit company, आपके वो your client is sitting abroad in another country and they are facing a problem, and because of that problem their system has come to a standstill. So you ask all your software engineers and all your company people, you gather them in a conference room and you ask them that all of you put your heads together and you come up with a solution right away. Leave everything else. This is first priority. You have to solve this problem because our client abroad is his system has come to a standstill. This happened in NetSol once, that they sold a financial suite whole software system to a Chinese bank, and the Chinese bank faced a problem due to which their transactions stopped. So their customers were they were annoyed that they cannot get through with their transactions, and the bank was really in a fix. So they called NetSol and they asked them to fix this problem on an urgent basis, ASAP, as soon as possible. Things that are internally caused behaviors are those we believe to be under the personal control of the individual. आपके अपने पर्सनल कंट्रोल में है आपका इंटरनली कॉज बिहेवियर। आप उस वक्त किसी चीज को के ऊपर बहुत ज्यादा खुश होना चाह रहे हैं, तो बहुत ज्यादा खुश होने का ये भी तरीका होता है कि आप लोगों से हैंड शेक करते हैं, यू टेल अदर पीपल बिकॉज यू आर वर्किंग इन एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन। और कुछ लोग होते हैं जो ऊंचा ऊंचा चीखना शुरू कर देते हैं, तो दैट बिहेवियर इज अंडर योर कंट्रोल। आपको पता होना चाहिए कि आपको किस जगह पे चीखना है, किस जगह पे नहीं चीखना। समझ आ रही है आपको? आपने अपने दूसरे कलीग के साथ शाउट करके बात करनी है, या यू वॉक अप टू हिम और हर एंड यू आस्क देम कि ये यार इसको इस तरीके से ना कर लें, क्या आई एम हैविंग प्रॉब्लम विद दिस वर्क, सो कैन यू हेल्प मी आउट। बजाय आप वहीं से बैठे हुए आवाज लगाते हैं जिस तरह आप किसी छोटे से चाय के होटल पे बैठे हुए हैं कि वो ये बात सुनना जरा, यू नो। सो दैट इज नॉट द वे, दैट इज इंटरनली कॉज बिहेवियर that is under your personal control. आप खुद अपने आप को मॉडिफाई कर सकते हैं अकॉर्डिंग टू द सिचुएशन, और आप इन चीजों को कंट्रोल कर सकते हैं। यू फीलिंग इमोशनल, कोई आपका दोस्त है वो हॉस्पिटल में था, ही वाज वेरी सीरियस एंड ही पास्ड अवे। अब वो आपने अपने इमोशंस को खुद कंट्रोल करना है। अंडरस्टैंड? ही वाज योर चाइल्डहुड फ्रेंड, ही वाज जस्ट लाइक अ ब्रदर टू यू, and you feel very bad right now, but you cannot burst into tears and you just cannot just like go crazy. What you can do is that you can take a 10-minute break and go outside and try and soothe yourself and calm yourself down that it had to happen. And as soon as I finish my work, then I will go and attend to whatever, how I can help out his family and everything. And since the janaza is going to be tomorrow, so that there is no need of you uh, rushing right away to that spot and leaving everything that you are doing in your office, right? So you have to manage your emotions when you are working in an organization. Externally caused behavior is what we imagine the situation forced the individual to do so. Sometimes your friends force you to go and watch a movie in or during office hours, that we bought your tickets and we are coming to pick you up, and you just cannot say no. And it is a 2-hour movie and we will drop you back after 3 hours. Now, or an external forced situation would be this, that just like the oil prices have fallen, right? So they are forcing you to make some decisions. Your company has signed a contract to buy an exact amount of oil every week from your oil supplier. And now, since because of corona everything is shut down, your oil consumption has reduced, but you have signed a contract, so you would have to procure that ship. If the ship comes to your port and you are unable to download that ship because the consumption in your country has gone down and your storages are full, then you have to pay damage to that shipping company, that since you are holding their ship for say a week or 10 days, and that ship cannot go anywhere else, then you would have to pay them an extra amount of money for the time that you were holding it back. This was something that was caused externally and it was not in your control. If there is a hailstorm outside, or there's a hurricane or tornado, and it is stopping your salespeople to go to shops and do their job, that is an external factor that is forcing you to stay inside and not do your job. So what are you going to report in the evening at 5 p.m. that how much sales have you done? That is a particular problem that was caused by the external environment, and due to that problem, you are in this situation. Then the determination, however, depends largely on three factors: distinctiveness, consensus, and consistency. Distinctiveness, how you can differentiate it clearly from one situation to another, right? Consensus is that all of your organization members or all of your team members, they come around and they come to a consensus that okay, we are going to keeping in mind all the external factors that are affecting us, still we have to get the job done. So this is you come to a consensus that this is how we are going to do it, and you formulate a strategy, you work out a plan to do those things, even if the external environment is not in your favor, right? Consistency, then you have to be very consistent, and when you've made a plan, then you should follow it, and you should implement it so that you complete a major portion of your work that is within your reach and that is not being affected by the external environment, right? First, let's clarify the differences between internal and external causations, and then we'll elaborate on each of these terms that we've studied. Rational model, bonded rationality and intuition. Now we're going to focus on how a person, an individual, takes a rational decision, right? A well thought out decision. And what is bonded rationality? That you are limited to certain factors. There are certain limitations when you are taking a rational decision, maybe you don't have the complete information, and maybe the factors don't allow you, maybe you don't have that much money. You know what the best option is, but you cannot spend so much money to implement that option. So your rationality is bonded, right? you, Remaining within those factors, you have to take a rational decision. And then there is intuition, which just comes from inside. It is a hunch, or it is you think that it should be done this way, you've seen people do it this way, you have done it before, and you have a very strong feeling that if we do implement this work in this way, we will get good results. Now this is just your own belief or your own thinking, that if you follow this strategy, you would get positive results. It can work otherwise as well, right? So intuitions are not considered rational, right? A rational decision making model describes how individuals should behave in order to maximize outcomes. So you have to maximize the outcome by taking a rational path, and you keep covering all your bases as much as possible, right? We often think that the best decision maker is rational and makes consistent, value maximizing choices within the specified constraints. There are constraints everywhere, and limitations, and these decisions follow a six-step rational model. And this basic decision making model, where you take a rational decision, you have to, first of all, you have to define the problem, that what is the problem at hand, how are we going to tackle this problem, and what are the different resources available with us. How many people do we have who are skilled to do this job? How many cars do we have for transporting people around? How many computers and other resources do we have? How much time do we have, right? All of these things are noted down when you are defining the problem, that what is the problem and how you are planning to go about solving it. Then you identify the decision criteria. What type of decision criteria should you follow? Should it be a rational thinking? Should it be bonded rationality? Or should it be just intuition? That you have a gut feeling that this is the way you should do it, and you just go ahead and do it. You know, that is emotionally charged decision making, which is not rational, right? You feel like crossing the road, there's too much road traffic on the road, and you just walk into the road, that the cars will stop themselves, they will put on apply brakes, and I will just keep on walking, and I'll not even look at the car drivers. So there's every chance that two cars break and the third one hits you, right? If you just walk into a street. Rational decision making would be that you wait for the light, the red light, and when the traffic stops, then you can go to the zebra crossing and you can cross the road. Or you can cross the road from at other places, but you'll see that the at least on one side of the road the traffic has stopped. So all you need to take care of is only traffic coming from only one side, right? Then allocate weights to the criteria, that if I follow criteria A, how much weightage should I assign to this? If you say case, I assign 70% weightage to the rational criteria, and it it can be like bonded rationality, uh, and 10% intuition as well. So you have to define a criteria, and you have to allocate weights to different criteria, because whenever you're taking a decision, your intuition also kicks in. It being a human being, you know that okay, I have whatever the information I had, I have taken a rational decision. I have tried and minimized the risk as much as possible, right? And now I have to depend, I have to take this action and use my gut feeling as well, that whether the company should go ahead and do this or not. You always have a first mover advantage. So if you have taken the risk and you move in, because you've done your homework, you have information of about 70% of what you're going to do, what is your marketing plan, what is how you have, who are the persons who are going to implement it, how much resources are you going to spend on this project, and what is the outcome. Now the outcome can change, right? But it cannot change drastically. If you're targeting a population and you're trying to sell them edible ghee or cooking oil, the population consumes that product, so it cannot be an ultimate failure. If you're taking the right product to the market, you would be able to sell a product, and there might be a difference in the sales, that you predicted that you would sell 10 trucks in the first week, and the actual outcome was that you were only able to sell 5 trucks. Why? Because your competitors became active, they started giving promotions, and you had not thought of that before, right? And you did not expect your competitors to react so quickly. So there are a lot of things that you learn while implementation of the decisions that you've taken. And then every week there's a meeting, you sit together, and then you modify your decisions accordingly, and how the external environment is affecting it. Develop the alternatives. What are the different alternatives that are available to you? You can do this task either in this fashion, or another colleague suggests that you can computerize some of the part of the task, so that it is done quickly. And then another colleague suggests that why don't we break it up into like different components, and everybody concentrates on one component, and then we can bring all those components together and form a complete project. So there are different alternatives that are available to you, कि हम इस काम को ऐसे भी कर सकते हैं, इस तरह से भी कर सकते हैं, और तरीके से। आपने अगर लाहौर से इस्लामाबाद जाना है, तो आप उस अपनी गाड़ी भी ले जा सकते हैं, डेवू पे भी जा सकते हैं, एरोप्लेन पे भी जा सकते हैं, रेलवे पे भी जा सकते हैं, and there are so many other options. Understand? Or you can pool up as well, that you know that there's an Uber going to Islamabad, and there are like 6 different people, so all of them can share the ride. They can sit in that Uber, it's like an SUV, and it will take you to Islamabad faster, because it will only stop at one place where you think that you need to take a break. And whereas in a bus, the bus would go to their bus station, whereas this private car would drop each and every one of you at your workplace where you want to go and attend a meeting. So you develop different alternatives, and then you evaluate the alternatives, that which is the best alternative for me. How am I going to get the maximum outcome by choosing this alternative, right? कि अगर मैं इस तरह से फैसला करता हूँ, इस तरह से डिसीजन लेता हूँ, तो ये डिसीजन हमारी कंपनी के और हमारे हक में किस तरह से बेहतर होगा, right? Select the best alternative, and then you move into action, then you implement it, right? So this completes your rational decision making process, and this is your rational decision making model. Now, what is bonded rationality? Bonded rationality is our limited information processing capability. हमारी information processing capability भी तो limited हो सकती है ना. अब हमें Google पे दुनिया जहान की information available है, या you tie up with a research company और वो आपको last 20 years का data दे देते हैं, right? अब data तो आपको मिल गया, so you have access to information because you paid a subscription fee to that company and they gave you that data. अब आपकी जो उस इंफॉर्मेशन को प्रोसेस करने की कैपेबिलिटी है वो क्या है? आपके पास टोटल 2 लोग हैं, आप उस 20 साल की इंफॉर्मेशन को क्या 2 घंटे में प्रोसेस कर सकते हैं? नहीं कर सकते, राइट? सो व्हाट यू आर गोइंग टू डू इज कि आप पिछले 3 साल का डाटा लेंगे और उस पे देखेंगे कि 20 साल पहले पता नहीं मार्केट किस तरह से बिहेव कर रही थी, उस वक्त मार्केट कंडीशंस क्या थी. यू डोंट नीड टू गो इनटू दैट मच डिटेल, राइट? करंट सिनेरियो के अंदर आप उसका 3 इयर्स का, लास्ट 3 इयर्स का डाटा लेते हैं और उन दो लोगों को कहते हैं कि भाई सिंस वी हैव लिमिटेशंस, तो आप इस डाटा को प्रोसेस करो एंड देन वी आर गोइंग टू गो अहेड विद रैशनल डिसीजन मेकिंग प्रोसेस. और उसमें हम अपने अल्टरनेटिव्स देखेंगे कि हमारे पास क्या क्या अवेलेबल हैं. उसमें से वी विल इवेल्युएट दोज अल्टरनेटिव्स एंड देन वी विल select the best alternative that suits our organization, and we are going to go ahead, take action and implement it. The human mind cannot formulate and solve complex problems with full rationality because there is lack of information, there are time constraints, then there are technical constraints that you might have not done a portion of that work before, you don't have the relevant experience, you might need to borrow experience from others. This is where consultants come in, that you don't know how to build a dam, so you have to consult consultants who were experts in building dams, and you will call them to Pakistan, they will charge a fee, and then you can attach 200 of your local engineers with them. So when they are building a dam over a period of 3 to 5 years, all of your local engineers, they learn from the experiences of those consultants, and they can question them and ask them. But still, if some other country wants to build a dam, they will hire the consultants because they have 20 years of experience and they have built 20 dams, and their teams have worked on 20 different projects, right? Whereas your engineers have been exposed to only one project right now, so they have limited experience. And the human mind cannot formulate and solve complex problems with full rationality, and we operate within the confines of bounded rationality. We construct simplified models that extract the essential features from problems without capturing all their complexity. जितना काम हम उसके अंदर से, उसमें से जो खास खास काम है उसको पहले सेग्रीगेट करते हैं, अलहदा करते हैं, एंड देन वी फोकस ऑन दैट वर्क कि इसको तो कंप्लीट करें ना, और फिर जो इसकी बाकी पेचीदगी हैं, कॉम्प्लेक्सिटीज हैं, उसके ऊपर हम विद द पैसेज ऑफ टाइम वी विल फोकस ऑन देम. इंट्यूशन. अब यहाँ इंट्यूशन आपकी फिर आपका, या मेरा दिल चाह रहा है कि ये मेरा इसको इस तरह से कर लेना चाहिए, दूसरा कहता है मेरा दिल नहीं मान रहा, हमें ये डैम बनाने नहीं चाहिए. भाई क्यों नहीं बनाना चाहिए? what are your logical arguments? Please give your logical arguments, because we are in an organization और यहाँ दिल विल की बात नहीं चल रही. आपका दिल कर रहा है कि यूनिवर्सिटी खुल जाए और सारे हम फिर से दोस्त इकट्ठे हो जाएं और हम अलग उलग करें एंड वी चिट चैट और सारा कुछ. गवर्नमेंट थिंक्स के इस वक्त यूनिवर्सिटी नहीं खुलनी चाहिए बिकॉज डिजीज जो है वो बहुत ज्यादा स्प्रेड हो जाएगी और हमारे पास जो हॉस्पिटल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है, हेल्थ केयर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है, वो हमारा बहुत पुअर है. एंड आवर डॉक्टर्स, वी ओनली हैव लाइक 2 lakh डॉक्टर्स, तो हम वी विल नॉट बी एबल टू सपोर्ट अ पॉपुलेशन ऑफ 21 crore people getting infected with only 2 lakh doctors. अंडरस्टैंड? हम अपने 50,000 के करीब हमारे डेंटिस्ट और दूसरे अदर डॉक्टर्स हैं, वो भी मिला लें, उनको भी हम रैपिड ट्रेनिंग दे लें, तो 2.5 लाख टोटल हमारे पास 250,000 डॉक्टर्स हैं. और उसके बाद जो सपोर्ट स्टाफ है, नर्सेज वगैरह, वो 150,000 है. सिर्फ 1.5 लाख नर्सेज हैं हमारे पास, मेल नर्स और फीमेल नर्स मिला के, राइट? तो अब इन्होंने कॉन्ट्रैक्ट के ऊपर नर्सेज हायर किए हैं बाय एनडीएमए ने इस सिचुएशन को सॉल्व करने के लिए. तो यहाँ आपकी इंट्यूशन जो है वो काम नहीं आएगी, यहाँ रैशनल डिसीजन मेकिंग काम आएगी. Perhaps the least rational way of making decisions is intuitive decisions. ठीक है? This is the least rational way. और आपका दिल चाह रहा है मूवी देखने को, आप उठे, आपने क्लास मिस की, सारे दोस्त इकट्ठे हुए, चलो जी जाके मूवी देख के आते हैं. So that is not a rational way. मूवी कहीं भागी नहीं जा रही और उन्होंने उसको सिनेमा से उतार नहीं देना, आप शाम को भी जाके देख सकते हैं. ठीक है? आप उसको वीकेंड पे सैटरडे संडे भी जाके देख सकते हैं. सो लाइक अगर आप उसको रैशनली, इफ इट इज अ रैशनली वेल थॉट आउट प्लान, तो इट विल कॉज less damage to yourself and to your organization, right? And it might not even cause damage at all, right? So you are maximizing your outcome by taking a rational decision and minimizing your risks and the dangers that might be come as a result of the decision that you took. It occurs outside conscious thought, and it relies on holistic associations or links between disparate pieces of information. And it's fast and it's effectively charged. Effectively फिर वही आ गया emotionally charged. You take a fast decision, नहीं बस अभी करना है, इसी वक्त करना है, जाना सबने, right? And it is emotionally charged, and meaning it usually engages the emotions, and therefore it is not the right way, and it is the least rational way of making decisions when you are in an organization, right? It might be okay when you were in school, you felt like playing football and you didn't want to attend your class. So you went up to your teacher and you said that we want to play football and today we don't want a class. So, and he might even allow you for half an hour, okay, you can play football for half an hour, and for the rest of the half an hour, we will come back to class and we will finish this topic, so that both the things go. But when you are in an organization, then you refrain you from taking emotional decisions that are irrational and illogical. Overconfidence bias. आपको अपने ऊपर बहुत कॉन्फिडेंस, मेरी गारंटी जी आप ये कर दें जबरदस्त हो जाएगा. It has been said that no problem in judgment and decision making is more prevalent and more potentially catastrophic than overconfidence. Overconfidence आपको बहुत बुरी जगह पे जाके फंसाता है, और वो कैटेस्ट्रॉफिक होता है. वो अगर आप ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में इस तरह का कोई अपने डिसीजन ले लेंगे, बाद में उसकी इंक्वायरी होगी, पीपल आर गोइंग टू आस्क यू कि आपने ये जो है इस तरीके से ये डिसीजन क्यों लिया और इसके पीछे वजूहात क्या थी, व्हाट वाज योर होमवर्क दैट यू डिड बिफोर टेकिंग दिस डिसीजन, बिकॉज यू आर वर्किंग इन एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, इट इज नॉट योर father's business. Even if you take a overconfidence wrong decision in your father's business, your father is going to ask you कि तुमने मेरा इतना नुकसान करवा दिया, तुम्हें किसने कहा था, तुम एक फोन कॉल करके मुझे पूछ तो लेते ये करने से पहले कि जी मैं ये करने जा रहा हूँ, ये करना चाहिए कि नहीं चाहिए. He has experience and he has been in that, he's running that business for 20 years, so he would have told you कि बेटा इसको ऐसे नहीं ऐसे करके कर लो, right? लेकिन आपको ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस था कि नहीं मुझे खुद भी कुछ करके दिखाना चाहिए, अब मैं बड़ा स्मार्ट और इंटेलिजेंट यंग मैन हूं एंड आई कैन टेक डिसीजंस ऑन माय ओन एंड दिस इज द वे आई शुड डू इट, राइट? देन एंकरिंग बायस. जैसे एक जहाज, शिप आता है, वो शिप आके एक जगह के ऊपर एंकर कर देता है, और एंकर वो तब करता है जब उसने वो पार्किंग मोड में चला जाता है. अब उस शिप ने आगे कहीं मूव नहीं करना होता, तो फिर इट ड्रॉप्स इट्स एंकर्स. अब ह्यूमंस के अंदर भी एंकरिंग बायस आ जाते हैं, वो अड़ जाते हैं एक जगह के ऊपर. अ टेंडेंसी टू फिक्सेट और ऑन इनिशियल इंफॉर्मेशन. आपको जो इनिशियल इंफॉर्मेशन मिली आप उसी के ऊपर फिक्स हो गए और वहीं अड़े हुए हैं, वहीं खड़े हुए हैं. फ्रॉम विच वन देन फेल्स टू एडिक्वेटली एडजस्ट फॉर सब्सिक्वेंट इंफॉर्मेशन. उसके बाद आपको सब्सिक्वेंट इंफॉर्मेशन भी मिल रही है और आपको चाहिए कि आपका जो प्रीवियस डिसीजन है अब आप उसको मॉडिफाई कर लें, लेकिन आप वहीं के वहीं अड़े खड़े हैं, एंड यू आर you have dropped your anchors and you do not want to listen to any more information. You are not ready to change and you are not ready to modify your decisions, and you're not ready to look at other alternatives. जैसे वो आपको पीछे रैशनल थिंकिंग में कह रहा था कि आप दूसरे अल्टरनेटिव्स भी तो देखें ना कि भाई क्या हो सकता है. आपके ख्याल में ये वाला अल्टरनेटिव बहुत अच्छा है, ठीक है, अब आपको फर्दर इंफॉर्मेशन मिली है कि ये 2-3 और अल्टरनेटिव्स भी हो सकते हैं, तो उनके ऊपर भी उसको सुन लें, उसको देखें, फिर आपस में अपने ग्रुप में बैठ के डिस्कस करें, एंड देन सी के इसमें से हम कौन कौन सी अच्छी चीज है जो कि अपने जो प्रीवियस हमारा डिसीजन था उसके अंदर हम इनकॉर्पोरेट कर सकते हैं, so that we can maximize our output and outcome. So an anchoring bias is a tendency to fixate on initial information from which one then fails to adequately adjust for subsequent information. ये मुख्तलिफ किस्म के इंसान के बायसेस होते हैं जो कि उसकी डिसीजन मेकिंग को इन्फ्लुएंस करते हैं, ठीक है। Confirmation bias, the tendency to seek out information that reaffirms past choices and to discount information that contradicts past judgments. अब आप उसके ऊपर एक कंफर्मेशन बायस आ जाता है कि यार इसको दोबारा चेक तो कर लें, ये जो इन्फॉर्मेशन हमारे पास आई थी ये ठीक भी है कि नहीं है, राइट। पता नहीं उसने हमें सही ना बताया हो, उसका कोई अपना मोटिव हो इसके अंदर, वो कंपनी चाहती ही नहीं कि हम लाहौर की मार्केट में स्ट्रांग हो, क्योंकि इस तरह फिर उनका भी मार्केट शेयर जाएगा, राइट। तो आपका वो एक कंफर्मेशन बायस आ जाता है। अब ये कंफर्मेशन बायस क्या कर रहा है कि ये आपका मजीद टाइम कंज्यूम कर रहा है, राइट। और आप उसमें दिस इज द टेंडेंसी टू सीक आउट इंफॉर्मेशन दैट रीअफर्म्स पास्ट चॉइसेस, कि हमने जो पास्ट चॉइसेस अपनी की थी वो सही थी, किस हद तक सही थी उसको जरा एक दफा दोबारा देख लो यार, ठीक है। एंड टू डिस्काउंट इंफॉर्मेशन दैट कॉन्ट्रडिक्ट्स पास्ट जजमेंट्स। अब आपको एक इंफॉर्मेशन मिली है लेकिन आपकी पास्ट जजमेंट थी कि इस काम को इस तरीके से करें, भाई अब हालात चेंज हो गए हैं, वो आपकी जजमेंट जो थी वो 3 साल पुराने डाटा के ऊपर बेस्ड थी, इस वक्त मार्केट कंडीशन वो नहीं है जो आज से 3 साल पहले थी। इस वक्त अब यानी जो बिजनेसेस हैं वो द इकोनॉमी इज अंडर रिसेशन, ठीक है। तो अंडर रिसेशन यू नीड टू टेक डिफरेंट डिसीजंस, राइट। उसके बाद अवेलेबिलिटी बायस आ जाता है, द टेंडेंसी फॉर पीपल टू बेस देयर जजमेंट ऑन इंफॉर्मेशन दैट इज रेडिली अवेलेबल टू देम। अभी अभी आपको फर्दन फर्दन क्या इंफॉर्मेशन मिल सकती है, रेडली अवेलेबल जो इंफॉर्मेशन है उसके ऊपर आपने डिसीजन ले लिया, वो आपका अवेलेबिलिटी बायस हो जाएगा, ठीक है। आपको वो इंफॉर्मेशन बाहर से भी सीख करनी चाहिए थी, यू वुड हैव कॉन्टेक्टेड अदर कंपनीज हु वर एक्सपर्ट्स इन गैदरिंग दैट इंफॉर्मेशन, कि वो आपको इंफॉर्मेशन दे देते। प्रॉब्ली यू वुड हैव टू पे समथिंग फॉर एज अ सब्सक्रिप्शन फी टू दैट कंपनी। statista.com है, उसके पास दुनिया जहान के हर किस्म के स्टेटिस्टिक्स होते हैं, दे आर वेरी रिलायबल, राइट। gartner.com है, वो आपको डाटा प्रोवाइड कर सकते हैं। तो यू शुड लुक अराउंड एंड गैदर मोर इंफॉर्मेशन सो दैट यू कैन मैक्सिमाइज योर आउटकम एंड यू कैन रिड्यूस योर चांसेस ऑफ मेकिंग मिस्टेक्स। लेकिन कुछ लोग अवेलेबिलिटी बायस उनके ऊपर डिसीजन ले लेते हैं, जो थोड़ी बहुत इंफॉर्मेशन उनको रेडिली अवेलेबल होती है उसी के ऊपर फटाफट वो डिसीजन लेके एंड देन दे मूव फॉरवर्ड। अब बेटा आपके कोई क्वेश्चंस हैं तो वो आप बताएं कि हाँ कि कौन कौन सी चीज जो है इट नीड्स मोर क्लैरिफिकेशन, उर्दू में पूछें बेशक, और अपने दिमाग में इन कॉन्सेप्ट्स को क्लियर करें, क्योंकि इसी से फिर टीचर जो है ही इज गोइंग टू मेक मल्टीपल चॉइस क्वेश्चंस एंड ही इज गोइंग टू मेक शॉर्ट क्वेश्चंस। और दूसरा अपना 200 रुपीज का रजिस्टर लें, उसके अंदर ये सब चीजें नोट करें, इस लेक्चर को दोबारा सुने, इस प्रेजेंटेशन को दोबारा देखें, कोई चीज फिर भी नहीं समझ आती आप नेक्स्ट क्लास के बिगिनिंग में भी अपना क्वेश्चन आंसर सेशन फिर भी कर सकते हैं। मतलब बिफोर द एग्जाम आप कभी भी अपने डिसीजंस को, अपने जो ये कॉन्सेप्ट्स हैं, इन पॉइंट्स को क्लैरिफाई करना बहुत जरूरी होता है, क्योंकि मल्टीपल चॉइस के अंदर आप कॉन्सेप्ट्स चेक कर रहे होते हैं। अगर आपको रिटर्न कुछ दे दो तो आप कहते हैं कि वो वर्ड काउंट ज्यादा हो गया और वर्ड काउंट कम हो गया, और तो हो सकता है कि अगला पेपर पूरे का पूरा ही मल्टीपल चॉइस बना दें टीचर, क्योंकि ये आप लोगों ने उस बेस पर सारा कॉन्सेप्ट बेस्ड होगा। कॉन्सेप्ट्स क्लियर होंगे तो आप कर सकेंगे, कॉन्सेप्ट्स नहीं क्लियर होंगे तो यू विल टिक द रॉन्ग थिंग। अब पूछें आप लोग जी कि क्या क्या आपको इसमें रैशनल डिसीजन मेकिंग करनी चाहिए या इंट्यूशन के ऊपर आदमी को अपना जो उसके अंदर से आवाज आ रही है उसके ऊपर डिसीजन लेना चाहिए। अब ये एक क्वेश्चन हो सकता है, टीचर पूछ सकता है, इसका जवाब दें।
सर रैशनल डिसीजन मेकिंग होनी चाहिए, अगर वो खुद से जवाब दे देगा तो ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस में चीज फॉल कर जाएगी और गलत हो सकता है।
हाँ गलत हो सकता है, और यू आर इन एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, आप वहां पे वो फिर आपकी उसकी पूछ भी होगी ना बाद में कि मिस्टर ओवर स्मार्ट, ये आपने डिसीजन किस तरीके से लिया और आपने ये कंपनी का इतना नुकसान किया है, तो व्हाट वर द बेसिस ऑफ टेकिंग दिस डिसीजन, आपने इसके पीछे क्या होमवर्क किया था, आपने प्रॉपर इंफॉर्मेशन गैदरिंग की थी या नहीं की थी, या आपने अवेलेबिलिटी बायस पे गए और आपको बस जो फटाफट जो इंफॉर्मेशन मिली आपने वही पकड़ी और उसके ऊपर काम कर दिया, अंडरस्टैंड, या आपने अच्छी तरह से उसका 3-4 जगह से पता किया, बाकी कंपनीज उसको किस तरीके से कर रहे हैं उस काम को, और उसको उसके अंदर किसी कंसल्टेंट की आपने हेल्प ली या नहीं ली, ये सारी चीजें जो हैं वो मैटर करती हैं, राइट। कोई एक्सपीरियंस्ड इंजीनियर हो सकता है, दूसरी कंपनी में आदमी हो सकता है, उसकी भी आप हेल्प ले सकते हैं। आपका कोई सीनियर है 2-3 साल पहले ग्रेजुएट करके चला गया, उसको फोन करके आप उसका ओपिनियन ले सकते हैं। लोग अपने टीचर्स को फोन कर लेते हैं, सर हमें ये कॉम्प्लेक्स प्रोजेक्ट मिल गया और इसकी मुझे समझ नहीं आ रही, तो इसमें जरा आप थोड़ी सी मुझे गाइडेंस प्रोवाइड करें, अंडरस्टैंड। अब नाउ जो उस्मान है वो पूछे भाई आपको क्या चीज इसमें ये जो कॉन्फिडेंस बायस है, ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस बायस है, उसके बाद आपकी जो अल्टरनेटिव्स, डिफरेंट अल्टरनेटिव्स को आप इवेल्युएट करते हैं, वो करना चाहिए या नहीं करना चाहिए।
सर ये एंकरिंग बायस एक दफा फिर से समझा देंगे प्लीज।
कौन सा वाला?
एंकरिंग बायस।
एंकरिंग बायस।
एंकरिंग।
हाँ, एंकरिंग बायस ऐसे होता है कि जैसे आपको जो पहली इंफॉर्मेशन मिली है ना, आप उसी के ऊपर फिक्स हो जाते हैं कि बस ये इंफॉर्मेशन है और इसी के ऊपर मैंने अपना डिसीजन लेना है, और मैंने किसी की और कोई बात नहीं सुननी, और मैंने कोई इंफॉर्मेशन अब मुझे फर्दर जो मिलेगी उसके बारे में, आपको किसी ने बता दिया कि भाई ये जो काम आप करने जा रहे हैं ना, ये आपकी कंपनी के लिए बहुत नुकसानदेह होगा, अब आप वहीं पे एंकर अपना गिरा के वहां पे खड़े हो गए कि नहीं नहीं नहीं, ये तो अब करना ही नहीं है, हमने बिल्कुल किसी सूरत नहीं हो सकता। उसके बाद आपको फर्दर इंफॉर्मेशन मिली उनका कि दूसरी कंपनीज भी ये प्रोजेक्ट जो है उन्होंने इसको इनिशिएट किया हुआ है, इसमें बहुत ज्यादा इनिशियली बहुत ज्यादा सक्सेस नहीं मिलती, लेकिन दिस इज द वे फॉरवर्ड, हम लोग इलेक्ट्रिक कार्स हमें बनानी चाहिए, ये हमारी सारी गाड़ियां इलेक्ट्रिक नहीं बिकेंगी, इस वक्त 7 to 8% ऑफ द कार ओनर्स हैव इलेक्ट्रिक कार्स, ठीक है ना, तो वो कोई बहुत ज्यादा पॉपुलर नहीं है, लेकिन स्टिल ऑल द कंपनीज आर वर्किंग ऑन इट एंड दे हैव नॉट ड्रॉप्ड देयर एंकर्स के सिंस इसका पब्लिक का रिस्पांस अच्छा नहीं आ रहा, तो हमें इस प्रोजेक्ट पे काम ही नहीं करना चाहिए। ये बात समझ में आई है?
यस
सर तो कॉन्फर्मेशन बायस भी यही नहीं है?
नहीं,
उसमें भी आप
कॉन्फर्मेशन
कंफर्म।
बायस तो ये है कि भाई आपने जो फैसला किया था ना, उसके ऊपर आप मजीद अब कंफर्मेशन चाह रहे हैं कि ये काम जो है इसके ऊपर यार जरा थोड़ा सा और पता कर लो कि ये जो हमने फैसला किया था ये ठीक है, अगर हम इसको इम्प्लीमेंट करते हैं तो हमें कोई इसके अंदर क्या क्या प्रॉब्लम्स फेस करने पड़ेंगे, उसमें आप मजीद टाइम अपना खर्च कर रहे हैं कॉन्फर्मेशन बायस के अंदर, उसमें आप एंकरिंग नहीं कर रहे, एंकरिंग के अंदर तो आप और कुछ सुनने को तैयार ही नहीं है कि नहीं जी नहीं ये हो ही नहीं सकता, बस अब वो हमें जो इंफॉर्मेशन मिली है उसी के ऊपर ही वी विल स्टिक टू दैट एंड वी विल नॉट गो अहेड विद दिस प्रोजेक्ट।
ओके सर,
समझ रहे हैं ना?
यस
आप
सर, यस सर।
चेंज करने को और मजीद इंफॉर्मेशन लेने को तैयार नहीं है, जबकि कंफर्मेशन बायस के अंदर आप कहते हैं और इंफॉर्मेशन लो जाके और पता करो और देखो कि भाई हम कोई चीज रह तो नहीं गई जो हमने मिस आउट कर दी हो, या जिस आदमी ने हमें इंफॉर्मेशन दी है हो सकता है उसने हमें पूरी इंफॉर्मेशन ना दी हो, इसको भी जरा चेक कर लो, क्योंकि इस आदमी इस कंपनी का कोई अपना इंटरेस्ट हो सकता है, या यही कंपनी हमें भी कंसल्टेशन प्रोवाइड कर रही है और हमारे कंपेटिटर को भी कंसल्टेशन प्रोवाइड कर रही है, तो हो सकता है इन्होंने हमें पूरी बात ना बताई हो, उसके लिए आप कंफर्मेशन अपना बायस जो है आपका वो किक इन हो जाता है। ऐसा कभी आप लोग खुद करते हैं कि यार एक लड़का आपको आके बताता है कि आज तो सर आए ही नहीं है, तो क्लास में जाने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है, ठीक है, तो उसमें आप कहते हैं कि यार इस बात को जरा कंफर्म कर लो, ये लड़का मुझे ठीक नहीं लगता, ये इसका अपना दिल नहीं चाह रहा क्लास अटेंड करने को और ये चाहता है कि हम लोग भी ना करें, अंडरस्टैंड?
यस सर।
और भाई उस्मान साबिर, आपको क्या क्या चीज समझ में नहीं आई? ज़ारा सलीम आप बताएं, अंबर शहजाद, इकरा मुर्तजा, आप लोग जब अपने फैशन प्रोजेक्ट के ऊपर काम कर रहे होते हैं तो हाउ डू यू डू डिसीजन मेकिंग? सैयद अब्बास रजा, आबाद रजा, आप बताएं। ओके, सो नाउ वी आर गोइंग टू वाइंड अप दिस सेशन, ठीक है? और आपको फिर भी कोई क्वेश्चंस हो तो यू कैन। हाँ जी, आप कुछ पूछना चाह रहे हैं?
नो सर, नो सर।
सर मुझे एक पूछना, सर ये proximity, how does it influence perception?
प्रॉक्सिमिटी जो आपके गिरदो नवा की जो यानी एक्सटर्नल एनवायरनमेंट होती है उस वक्त, उसकी वजह से आपका परसेप्शन चेंज होता है। किस तरह के माहौल में आप हैं, कौन कौन से फैक्टर्स आपको इफेक्ट कर रहे हैं। जिस तरह आजकल इस वक्त वो सारा हर चीज लॉकडाउन का चल रहा है, तो आपकी प्रॉक्सिमिटी में आपको हर चीज हर तरफ यही नजर आ रही है कि भाई इस काम को भी थोड़ी देर ठहर दो, कर दो। आपकी कॉन्फ्रेंस थी जो कि आपने करनी थी, जिसपे आप सब लोगों ने इकट्ठे होना था, यू हैड टू शेयर आइडियाज, लेकिन आप उस कॉन्फ्रेंस को डिले कर रहे हैं, डेफर कर रहे हैं, बिकॉज इस वक्त जो हालात हैं वो उसकी इजाजत नहीं दे रहे।
ओके सर।
ठीक है जी, ओके जी, अल्लाह हाफिज।
अल्लाह हाफिज।